welcome to tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you. Debra Henderson, CEO and owner of Miss Debbie's Sweet Treats, is in the house with me for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. Now, who doesn't love cake? Who doesn't love baking? Who doesn't love pastry as well? If you love all of those things, Miss Debbie's Sweet Treats is in the house here with us tonight. Miss Debbie, welcome to Beyond Focus TV.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be in your presence, Ms. Patel. I am honored to be here, so it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Well, we're honored to have you here because you create recipes. You've really done a lot of big things. We're going to tell everyone at home about all the great creations that you've done. But let's take it from the top. How did this all get started pre-Miss Debbie Sweet Treats? What were you up to?
Growing up, in the South, I'm the only one that loved to bake. And every Wednesday, my mom lets me bake and cook. So every Wednesday, I made a meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and a chocolate cake. Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday was the same thing, and that's how it all started. It became a passion. And the rest is history. It just kept growing and growing and growing. The more I did it, the more I loved it. It was a wonderful feeling when you see people enjoy what they eat. Mm-hmm. And it was worth the sweat and tears. When you're baking and stuff like that, especially the baking. I love baking more so than cooking. But the baking, that's my passion.
And those are two very different things because there's a
Definitely.
lot of people who could cook.
Right.
But they can't bake.
Exactly.
And a lot of people could bake, but they can't cook. And rarely do you find two who really perfected both together. They have them, but usually people choose to specialize in both.
Right.
So what made you realize that baking was more your passion?
Well, I guess when I was working in the corporate world and baking, experimenting with different things, food was okay, but I got more results, and people, seemed like I made people's day when they tasted my baking. Mm-hmm. And I said that each time you bake something, you perfect it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And the results make it all worthwhile. So it became a passion, and it is something I can continue to do. And I'm the only one in my family that bakes at the capacity that I do. They'll do it for the holidays, but that's it. Other than that, they go to the store, buy a cake that's already made. No, I said, no, not Debbie's Sweet Treats. No. They got to do it the old-fashioned way. You got to do it from scratch. And it just kept moving.
It just kept on moving. While you were in the corporate world, you used to experiment, still continue doing that. So your testers are basically people at work.
Right, exactly.
Little friends. Do you still remember the first recipe that you actually gave out to people? And how is that recipe different from what it is today?
Oh my goodness. I think it really started back when I was doing sweet potato muffins. That was the first creation, perfecting. Didn't have a clue as to what I was doing. You come up with ideas. It's the same thing with sometimes recipes come to me. And I said, what in the world? Just like chocolate sweet potato cookies. Watching TV one night. And I'm saying, what in the world is a chocolate sweet potato cookie? So I got to start writing what came to me. Now, not watching a Food Network, just regular TV. So I wrote down everything. So the next day I said, let me see if I got everything I wrote down. I'm looking at the paper. I said, what in the world is a chocolate sweet potato cookie? I made those cookies. Child, it was enough to slap somebody. And I just perfected it.
That sounds amazing. And then thinking about it, you're like, okay, chocolate sweet potato cookies. It's like they shouldn't go together.
Right, absolutely. I had everything that I needed in the kitchen at the time to make these chocolate sweet potato cookies. I said, well, I don't know what this is. I'm going to make it. And that was the beginning of City Hall when my dear friend Mr. Lewis, he tasted this when I was being honored back in 2007. He wanted to taste some of my stuff. So we met in front of juniors, and I said, well, try this. This is something new. And he said, what is it? I said, it's chocolate sweet potato cookie. He says, chocolate what? I said, chocolate sweet potato cookie. He got on the phone and talked to the person. I don't know who the person was. I just heard the person say, okay, put her on. And so when he got off the phone, he said, okay, you're going to be honored too. I said, what you talking about? He said, yeah, you're going to be honored too. And the rest is history. The rest is history. When I started planting the seeds for Debbie Sweet Treats back in 2003, when I was laid off from the corporate world. Of course, I was doing Debbie Sweet Treat on the side, but I wasn't, nothing was perfected. Once I was laid off from the corporate world, I said, this is my time to shine. So I started networking. I started doing what I had to do. And the big break came when at the time, they had a section in the New York Daily News where you can submit recipes. So I said, okay, let me start planting my seeds because nobody know who Debbie Sweet Treats is. So they chose my recipe, got a call 2 weeks later from the editor of the magazine, Rosemary Black. She said, okay, we chose your recipe to be in the New York Daily News. I just kept saying, stop playing now, stop playing. And she's laughing the whole time. Said, well, we're going to call you when we come out and take the picture. And 2006, January 2006, the picture was in the New York Daily News. The next day, I got a call from Martin Markowitz's office. I received a letter of congratulations from Martin Markowitz. And it just kept going from there. Each year got bigger and bigger and bigger.
So that was a big year for you. And doing the New York Daily News, let's talk about that because they actually still let you submit recipes. And that's something where a lot of budding and aspiring cooks and chefs and everybody who wants to get into a little something gets to do that. Tell us about that day you got that call. I know you said you were so shocked. You were like, stop playing.
That's all I kept saying.
Did you really think that you had a good shot?
No. I said, well, you pray on it, you plant your seeds, and keep moving. And that's what I did. I said, well, nobody knew who I was. 2000, I started planting my seeds in 2005. That's when it, back in the winter, 2005, I started planting the seeds. Like I said, between 2003, nobody knew who I was. I was just networking all over the place. And 2005, when I did that particular issue with the New York Daily News, and the rest is history. It became like determination. I said, okay, I got this. And sometimes, I stand back and look at my wall with the beginning of my journey, how it all started with the different plaques, with the different, one wall has the pictures with the different people that God blessed me to be involved with and be able to meet. And then the other was all the other, the plaques and things like that. I said, it's been an amazing, amazing journey. And it's not finished yet.
Absolutely. Definitely not finished yet. There's so much Miss Debbie Sweet Treats that I know you have to get to. And in the next segment, we'll talk about some of your recipes that you've created. Tell us about your very first batch that you made. And you were like, oh, no, this can't work. This needs improvement.
But a lot of recipes I did when you're perfecting something, it tastes all right. Like it just don't come out right. But it got a taste to it. And I said, okay. I always call them rejects. And I didn't throw them out. I just gave it to my family or a close friend. I said, this is reject. So the only thing they said, don't taste like no reject to me.
Still tastes good, right?
It still tastes good. I said, but I'm into perfection. It don't look right. It didn't rise or something. Whatever happened to it. So I just gave it to different people. They say it's fine with me.
And then continue from there.
I said, my name is on this, so it has to be right. If it's not right, you don't get it.
Absolutely. Well, hold that thought. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV with Miss Debbie Sweet Treat.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Miles, and I am Miss Caribbean United States 2013, and you're watching Beyond Focus TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, sitting here with Miss Debbie Sweet Treats. Miss Debbie, a lot of people have tasted your work. And I call it your work, even though they're your creations. And a lot of notable people that we know right here in our borough, Marty Markowitz, former Brooklyn Borough President, the current Brooklyn Borough President, Eric Adams.
Absolutely.
You actually mentioned off air that you were a part of that whole inauguration and the beginning of 2014 when he came into power.
That was an awesome, awesome event. It was so many people. I had a table with nothing but sweet potato muffins on it, and you're giving them out as people come through, and it was just a powerful journey. And the amazing part about that, even after the event, like a month after, the young lady called me. She says, "You're Debbie Sweet Trees." I said, "Yes, I am. I'm looking for a sponsor for my upcoming event with the legendary Danny Glover, his Power Dream Award." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, did you contact anybody else, any other sponsors at the event?" She says, "No. I want the best. That's why I called you." I had those sweet potato muffins, and the rest is history. As far as that, I ended up being a part of that inauguration last year with Danny Glover. Had the pleasure of meeting Danny Glover.
I was just about to ask you, did you get to meet Mr. Glover himself?
Absolutely, absolutely. He came downstairs early, and I had my table set up already. And I said I had my little gift bag for Danny Glover, and I had my little book where I want his autograph. So when he came over to the table, because he came down to get something to eat, he came over. He leaned over the table. He was just looking at everything. He said, Debbie Sweet Treats, come on now." So I gave him his gift bag. I got my autograph. Then he went back, to his room before the show started. And when he came on stage, when the event started, do you know he came on stage with his gift bag?
He did.
He came on stage with his gift bag. I said, "Wow, look at this." Everybody was trying to take pictures of Danny Glover. I said I couldn't get near Danny Glover. So my dear friend Monica Sanchez, which is a friend of Danny Glover, I said, "Now, I got to get my picture. I got to get my picture. Now, I have to show you the picture." I got my picture with Danny Glover. So everybody was scrambling to try to get a picture because he had to leave. So he had his gift bag on stage. So after I finished with my picture, I was standing aside. So I saw the gift bag in the corner. I said, "Let me go get this gift bag because anybody can just pick it up and keep moving." So I went and got the gift bag. So when he was time for him to leave, and I walked up, I said, "Mr. Glover, here's your gift bag." So he looked at me and he says, "Is it the exact same gift bag you gave me earlier? Is it the exact same one?" He said, "Because I had one of them sweet potato muffins." I said, "It's the exact same one." He said, "Thank you very much," and he just kept on moving.
And for Danny Glover to actually remember that it was a sweet potato muffin with everything that he has going on,
Everything.
that must
Everything.
mean a lot.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It's awesome. I did this year I was an honoree for the Power Dream Award, and my dear friend Kendra from Crossover TV, she had some of the honorees on her show, and Monica Sanchez, when she came on, it was her time to speak. She was saying, "Well, I have a message for Debbie Sweet Treats from Danny Glover," and I said, "Okay,
Really?
yeah." And this was live TV. I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah. I was told to tell you, Miss Debbie Sweet Treats, that your sweet potato muffins is the best he ever had." I said, "Really?" Danny Glover said that? She said, "Yes, he did." So we continued the conversation throughout the evening. Then I said, "Excuse me, could you please repeat that one more time, what Danny Glover said about Debbie Sweet Treats, sweet potato muffin?" She repeated it. It was awesome.
That's
It
really
was
nice.
awesome.
That is definitely
It was
nice.
awesome.
And you've done a lot of radio interviews, of course, of appearing everywhere else as well. But you've done some major New York radio stations as well.
I think the most powerful one was WBLS with the legends, and I was a guest on 98.7 Kiss FM.
Mm-hmm.
Cutman, yes, Cutman, and then you have Atume at the time that was with 98.7 Kiss FM, and I just had the chance to meet everyone, and they gave me the last 10 seconds before they went off air. They gave me the last 10 seconds. Debbie Sweet Treat, say something, say something. I said, and I didn't know what to say because it was unexpected, and I said, I got quiet. He said, "You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and it just kept going down. I said, I had to say something.